Hi guys, welcome back. Another race series then, so club ladder race. Still racing with Team Nopoggy, the Giro team. This time we've got a 5-on-5 ladder race. And it is, as all ladder races, the best placed team across the line. So I'm quite looking forward to this. This is on one of my favourite courses as well, so RGV. With the aqueduct climb in it, and then some rollers at the end, so a little bit of a favourite of mine. I've had some success in the past on this, so when I seen this was the route, I was quite happy. So I decided to voice over this tonight because the team and I are on Discord, kind of chatting tactics and stuff like that. And really, if we're chatting away like this, maybe some other teams that we might race in the future could be listening, so might not want to give it all away. But also, I kind of like to have my music on in the background as well, just kind of keep me going. So I thought I'd go with the voiceover. So as with most races, a little bit of self-doubt kick in when you look at the field that you're racing, and we looked at the stats beforehand, and I was a bit nervous because I had the worst velo score of everyone. So I figured I'm going to have to work hard, and I'm with a really strong group. But like I always say, iron sharpens iron, so I'm only going to get better by riding with better riders. So with 10 seconds to go, we're kind of chatting tactics and discussing how everyone's feeling. I will point out that Matt, one of the riders here, has just come from a team time trial. Absolutely crazy guy, but fair play to him. I don't think I could have done a team time trial and then straight into this. And as we set off, starts off relatively quick straight away, and we start forming a pack. So I think it's quite evident straight away that the team that we're racing, so club, they go to the front and start pushing the pace. So in my head, I'm kind of thinking, with this route being relatively flat and only having the aqueduct climb and then them little rollers at the end, is they want to make this as hard as possible to the bottom of the climb for us. So high watts, keep us strung out. Potentially do some attacks, but we kind of prepared for that, and we're looking to see if we can exploit that rather than them just sitting on the front and pulling us along. So with this, unless one of my teammates is on the front, if it's another team, I'll just kind of sit in the back and sit at the draft and just allow them to do the work. Just make sure I don't kind of latch off, and I can kind of stay within range just to put a few pedal strokes down to get back on if needs be. So as come through the banner, I got the draft, so I was quite relatively happy with that on this one. I think a few of my teammates got the ghost. For those that have never used the ghost before, when you press the button, you disappear from screen. It's really good for attacking, kind of drop off the back of the pack so no one can kind of see you just disappear from within the pack, and then just go, and then all of a sudden you'll pop out a second or two up ahead, and then everyone's got to work to pull it back. So it was at this point there was a lot of shouting down the headphones because Dylan, one of our riders, had a disconnect. So he carried on pedalling, but he's I think his Wi-Fi or his whatever he was racing on had kind of disconnected him or reconnected to something. So he was off the back and cursing quite a bit. But luckily the pace really kind of slowed a little bit, so we were hoping that once he got reconnected back up that he could maybe bridge to get back on. I think the other team kind of realised now that we've got someone off the back, and kind of as we go through this archway they start to try and string us out, and the pace kind of goes up a little bit again, and that just kind of makes the gap grow to Dylan, and makes the effort he's going to have to put in to try and get back on even harder. But as you can see, like, we're doing like the mid 2s to 3s, and Dylan's at 19 seconds away is pulling like 4 watts per kilo, and he's really working hard to try and get back on. So I think it kind of went up to 19 seconds, and then Dylan started working hard to try and get back on, and straight away closed back a couple of seconds, and the group does slow a little bit again, so there is hope that he will kind of latch back on. for a brief second there, he was 10 seconds, but shortly after he hit 10 seconds, all of the team club pushed to the front and really started pushing on the pedals to try and spread us out again. So I mentioned about the ghost before, and like perfection, if you look up ahead, Matt, one of our riders, hit his ghost, attacked, and then just appeared up ahead of us. Now at this point, all of Team Club go to the front because they want to try and chase this down. So this is us kind of wearing them down tactically wise, letting them do all of the work, and we're just kind of letting them drag us up to Matt. If he can hold it, we're not going to do any work with this group whatsoever. We're just going to let them do it, and then there's other things that you can do once the catch happens. And then we're pretty much the team catch Matt. Really strong effort there, and he really strung them out for a while and made them work for it. But I suppose it's you've got to try it, and if you don't try it, you never know. And then another one of our teammates hits that ghost at that point as soon as the catch is made, and he goes as well. So you'll see him pop up in the distance in a second. And we're back to the exact same thing again, of them going onto the front and trying to chase him down. Now with the aqueduct climb coming up, we are really letting them do all of the work, and our Matt keeps sitting kind of second and third wheel, but I think he's just trying to mark off any attacks that are going to come, but we let them do all the work and drag us up there, because ultimately if they're chasing, they're working harder than what we are, and then we've got the climb to come. And then really happy at this point because I've finally got my first upgrade on my Canyon Air Road, so I'll be upgrading that after this. So there's the first 200k done on it. And then eventually, as we come through this banner, you can start to see, I think it was Jonas who had attacked. I wasn't 100% sure on that because he went ghost and then disappeared. So I was more trying to see how I was holding on. And they started to catch before the climb. There was a conversation on Discord whether someone just goes straight away again. But I had said it was probably just a little bit too close to the climb. And if we were going to go again, the climb might be a good time to do it. So I was feeling pretty strong. I hadn't done an attack yet, so I was kind of seeing how things were going to pan out on the climb. So we hit the first part of the climb, and the watts go up a little bit, but nothing too crazy. This is relatively the easy part of the climb. And then I had a little bit of a look, and I was sat a little bit too far back, but I thought, you know what, I've got the Ghost, so if I'm going to use it, I'm going to go. So I'll pick my moment and hit the Ghost and then get out the saddle. I think I was a little bit too far back, so I kind of wasted a little bit of it, but then I went for an attack on the climb just to try and break this up a little bit. I don't mind these little ramps, and I can go quite hard on them. And it was at this point my GoPro failed, so great news, need a new camera. So I did get a couple of second gap, but I noticed that two of my teammates tried to bridge over to me, so Matt and Jonas tried to bridge over, and we were trying to get a three-person breakaway, but then one of the club guys, two of the club guys then started latching on, so the aim was really to try and just break it up and drop some of them all the way to the banner. And there I'm caught, but just a nice little dig there to break it up. There was three of us to start with, and then a few more get on, and as we stop, he goes over the top, but he's chased down by Matt. That was a really good time to attack, because obviously everyone's just come over the climb and we're going to go down, so we get a little bit stretched out while we come back together, but we're now kind of realised that there is four of us and two of them, because we've just dropped three of their riders out of this group, so that worked to absolute perfection. And now we've got a 4-second gap, as we now need to go to the front and try and extend that gap as much as we can. So we are taking turns every now and again, going to the front and just pushing on the pedals just to try and extend that gap. It's gone up to 5 seconds, but like 5 seconds is still relatively bridgeable, especially on a flat course like this. There's not a great lot of inclines at this moment. And what we've got to be careful of is the two riders that are with us kind of disrupting the rhythm that we've got. And they can do that a couple of ways. They can just go off attacking off the front and getting us to chase, or they can go to the front and then kind of slowing the pace down to let their riders back on. A couple of times I fell asleep, so I realised and chased back on quickly. But I think a couple of the riders kept a few small attacks just to see if they could shake these two guys, and then the two guys would go on the front. And as you can see there, they've slowed down straight away because their team are only 8-9 seconds behind, and I have to go onto the front and stop pedalling. So back together again, similar stuff. So we get into a bit of a rhythm of one of us being on the front, just pushing it down, and they just kind of sit in now. I'm wondering if they're just thinking that we might take it to the sprint, and they might feel quite confident with that. So again, we've just got to look at opportunities that we can do with the kind of parkour that's left, and there's only 8k to go, so we're just going to try and keep the pace high. As with before, a couple of times I kind of drift off the back and not fall asleep, because I think that's I was still kind of working hard, but I just didn't realise that I had let the gap grow, so I had to quickly put some watts down to kind of get back on. Someone popped a ghost, and I thought, here we go, I best get back on because there might be an attack happening, and I want to chase down these two club guys if anyone goes. So we'll see how things go. I popped my ghost now, not because I was going to use it, but because I wanted to get something else coming through the banner. But at the right time, right, it could mean that they think I've attacked off the front, so they could have pushed to the front and started doing a bit of hard work. We're just making this as hard as possible for them, pushing on the pedals at the front and just really stringing them out, so that if they are sprinters, their legs will be a little bit sapped. But it just seems like we're kind of coming to the conclusion that we're not going to shake them using the tactics that we've got. So you have to think of alternative methods. And again, I'm a little bit disconnected, so I've got to get back on. So something strange happened here. You'll see at the front now, one of the club guys disappears. So he's obviously used his ghost. So we all, you see fire socks and everything, we all reactivate and start putting power down because we want to close the gap and make sure that he doesn't pop out up the road with just 400 bit K to go, and then actually he pops up behind the front two riders. So a bit of a waste of a ghost there, or was it just burning some matches from our team to kind of get rid of some energy? So we're now approaching the roller section before the end, and I think this is, if we're going to do anything, it's going to have to happen on these rollers. And there is still 4K of them, so it just depends on if we do something at the beginning of it to try and hold it, or do we look at maybe the last roller and see if we can do something on that one. So the inclines aren't very steep, but as you can see, the pace does go up and the watts do go up on this incline, and that is just to kind of string us out, or we're not sure if he was trying to get away there. And when you've got 4 against 2, then it's going to be pretty difficult for an individual to get away. So on this downhill thing, even though it's quite short, I'm still quite a big believer of momentum and using this downhill to then power up the next part. What I was a bit shocked with, I thought their 2 riders might have went straight to the front and attacked over on this one, similar to the one rider did on the previous little roller, but this time they sat up, so I'm not really sure, are they too tired, or is it just a bluff for the kind of last one? And as we power up this one, I'm feeling pretty good in the legs. Like, I'm looking at my average watts, and with an FTP of 330, my average watts only being 274, I think that I might have a little bit left in my legs for the finish. So I'll see how it goes over the top of this climb, and maybe I'll try something. So I kind of didn't want to hit it at the first part of the climb, but the second part, this little roller I should say, hit my draft boost, and I just absolutely got out the saddle and started trying to empty the tank a little bit. But Jonas came with me, which was really good to see. One of my other teammates and the guy from Team Club, that Ellinger, tried to come with us, but we had a 1 second gap. So straight away, me and Jonas got away, and then we looked back and there's a 2 second gap straight away. It went up to 3 seconds, and with 900 metres to go, I think we've got this, so we don't have to kind of work so hard. We're not going to attack each other on this, or I decided not to attack him, because ultimately what we want is team 1-2 here, and then hopefully the other two guys behind can maybe latch onto the back of them and see what they can do too. Something very unnatural for me. With less than 200 metres to go, I'm not winding up a sprint. So I did notice behind that their sprint had started a little bit earlier, but we've got a 5 second gap. So me and Jonas just kind of roll through the line. There's no need to kind of expunge anything. And then we kind of look behind, and Matt, the mentalist, who did a team time trial before this, managed to get a podium and got third. So massively impressed. And then Dave got fifth. So we got with Dylan, unfortunately, not getting back on, but he did crack on and he finished the race, so fair play to him, because I would have been quite snapped with that had happened to me. It has happened to me before, but I never kind of quit. I just fight through, so fair play Dylan, well done. But with a team kind of 1, 2, 3 and 5, points wise, we should quite easily win this match. This has been a really good kind of technical match, a bit of back and forth, and then just attacking at the right moments. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I'll hopefully be doing another one next week. I'm not sure what the schedule is and what my schedule is, but I do have a few things coming up, so I might not meet the schedule for next week. So on Saturday, we've got the Norwegian Watts Ryan Condon race, which I'm involved in, which I'm really looking forward to. And then I don't have anything until Wednesday, when I've got a crit race up in Nottingham. So I need to actually get my road bike out and cycle with a bit of wind in my face. That's not artificial. So maybe Sunday through to Tuesday I might have to do a little bit of that. Thanks for watching, guys. If you've enjoyed this, come back for some more races. Drop a comment, like, subscribe, and I'll try and answer everyone. And what I'm going to do now is, well, everyone's still watching this, is I'm going to upgrade my Canyon Aero to its first upgrade. So I'm really happy with that. I'm really glad that I've managed to save enough drops for it, because I didn't realise how little drops I've had over the last few months. So quite happy with that. First upgrade on that, and then I'll move on to the next one. So thanks for watching, guys. See you next week.